It's halftime at the SAP Center in San Jose, California. James Spoovy coming to you live here alongside my broadcast partner, Mr. Ed Cole. Your Northern Arizona Wranglers trailing the Bay Area Panthers by the score of 34-15 at halftime. DeQuan Neal and the Panthers defense really the story of half number one out there in San Jose, Ed.
It was. DeQuan Neal, 4 touchdown passes, 9 of 11 for 111 yards, 4 touchdowns, 2 to Joshua Tomas, 1 to Pierre Williams, 1 to JT Stokes. And as you mentioned, the defense for Bay Area, they were all over the field, just like their special teams was all over the field, JP. It was a complete performance for Bay Area in the first half. Northern Arizona, just 66 yards of offense. Josh Jones, 5 of 17 as we take a look down in Glendale. Tucson's leading Arizona right before the half.
Tucson Sugar Skulls were up 22-7 just a bit ago in this football game, but the Rattlers have brought it back a little bit closer now. They trail the Sugar Skulls by 8 going into the half. Not quite sure who has the ball there second half, but right now Tucson's fulfilling the prescription that we had in the pregame show, Ed, and they're doing their part, and we'll hope that the Wranglers can do their part in half number 2. Luckily for Northern Arizona, we do get the ball back first, second half.
Yeah, but the adjustments are going to have to be made offensively. They've got to find a way to get through that Bay Area defense because they've come after Josh Jones all night long. Darren Hungerford pressured him a lot in that first quarter, and they gave him so many different looks that Coach Pappen was talking about in the broadcast. They varied their looks defensively against Josh Jones. He wasn't able to run like he usually is able to. Again, Bay Area, one of the best rush defenses in the league, JP. I think they're second to Green Bay, I believe. And as far as rush defense is concerned, these guys do not allow much yards rushing from a defensive standpoint. So this team has played really well. Bay Area so far in the first 30 minutes, and Northern Arizona's got to find a way to counteract that.
Absolutely right. Solid offense from the Bay Area Panthers behind DeQuan Neal, and this young man is so special. He's able to throw it, and then when he runs the football, he is absolutely deadly in the open space. And then we talk about their defense. Darren Hungerford, former Northern Arizona Wrangler, really doing a great job manning the middle today for them. And you mentioned the different coverage looks they're throwing at Josh Jones. Kind of really has him off base there in that first half.
Yeah, and Antoine Kincaid has been great in the first half. 5 tackles, 4 solo. He's got a TFL, and he's been really good so far back in that backfield. And like Coach Pappen said, if I was starting an expansion team, I would make a call to Antoine Kincaid and see if he's available. He's been great so far. But yes, that defense has been great. They're special, as you mentioned. DeQuan Neal, 4 of his 9 completions were for touchdowns. So that tells you what kind of game he's having, and they've scored on 5 of their 6 possessions. In Northern Arizona, we talk about third down. That was one of our keys to victory for me. They're 2 of 8 on third down. They've got to do much better than that on third down. They've got to find a way to extend drives, JP and folks, on third down and fourth down situations. You've got to find a way to complete and convert and move the football, and right now they're not doing that.
Yeah, you're absolutely right, Ed, but all things start with that first possession in half number 2. Still 30 minutes of game time remaining there at the SAP Center. We'll take a short commercial timeout and return for more of the halftime show right here on the Northern Arizona Wranglers Network.
He's here. Anyone want a Coors Light? Light? Oh my.
Beautiful. Oh, shoot, I forgot to play the song.
Thanks, LL Cool J.
I got a guy who can fix this.
Every day, savings. Energy efficiency. Rebates. Every day, you have ways to save energy and money. Schedule a home energy checkup for savings recommendations tailored to your home. Find rebates on smart thermostats, appliances, and more at the APS Marketplace. Compare your rate plan options and switch to the plan that would have saved you the most money. Find ways to save at aps.com/brighter.
We welcome you back to the halftime show here on the Northern Arizona Wranglers Network, including YouTube, Twitter, and Facebook today. Northern Arizona right now trailing the Bay Area Panthers by the score of 34-15. Wranglers get the ball first, second half, and Captain Obvious reporting here, but they have got to go down and have a convincing drive down the football field, probably even a real quick drive, Ed, I would say, and score a touchdown and get back to scoring inside the SAP Center.
Yeah, I would say do like they did in Vegas a couple of weeks ago when that opening drive that Josh Jones threw a touchdown to RZ McCorker to start off the third quarter in Vegas. Do that again because McCorker's been bottled up. He's only got one catch. John Maldonado's been bottled up. He's got one catch. Kobe White's got one catch. Gene Coleman's got two catches. So their defense, they've been outstanding, Bay Area. They've got to find a way to get loose from those defenders. They're really good, but they've got to find a way to run the proper routes and get free of those guys. And Josh Jones has got to get the football to these guys and move the football down the field like they've done all season long. But so far, they've not been able to do it.
Not only will the offense have to vastly improve in half number two, but the Wranglers defense is going to have to figure out some way to get a 2-for-1, force a turnover, get a fumble recovery, something to that effect, and then get an additional touchdown there to make up the scoring difference. It's going to be a big-time second half for the Wranglers to come through and push through and get this win if they're able to do so.
Right, because when I look at DeQuan Neal's stat line, under interceptions, there's 0. Under sacked, there's 0. Those numbers have got to change. You've got to get some crooked numbers on both of those on the interceptions and sacks if you expect to come back and win this football game because DeQuan has done whatever he's wanted to do against this defense so far, and you cannot allow him to do that again in the second 30 minutes of this game.
Once again, the Tucson Sugar Skulls taking care of business thus far. It's halftime inside Desert Diamond Arena in Glendale, 22-14. The Sugar Skulls leading the Arizona Rattlers. So playoff hopes still alive at this point for your Northern Arizona Wranglers, but bottom line is they have got to take care of business here in half number two.
Oh, yeah, JP, folks, there's plenty of time. There's still 30 more minutes of football, but as you mentioned, they've got to come out with a sense of urgency on this very first drive. Move the football, get into the end zone. You've got to get in there because, as we mentioned, it was good that Axel Perez got that drop kick for 4 points. That was great. But again, 4 points and 3 points is not going to be enough. You've got to get 6 points. Coach Pappen talked about it on the broadcast. 6 points is what you've got to do, and you've got to continue to move the football, get into the end zone. And again, 2 of 8 is not good enough for third downs. You've got to keep these drives moving and get elongated drives and keep DeQuan Neal back on the sidelines.
As we know, the Wranglers coaching staff in the locker room as we speak, making those all-important halftime adjustments, and we'll see how they play out here in half number two against the Bay Area Panthers. Thanks for tuning in here to the halftime show, and we'll be right back with you following the conclusion of tonight's ball game between the Wranglers and the Panthers right back here on the Northern Arizona Wranglers YouTube channel for the postgame show. For now, we'll say bid you adieu, and we'll check up with you again at the end of tonight's ball game. And as we always say, Ed, they really need it. Go Wranglers.
Wranglers.